Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, September 26th, the last week now of September, and it's going to start feeling like it. If you woke up with first news, you heard Lydia talking about maybe dropping down to the 30s, maybe even 20s. Frosty next couple of days. Not today. Today is cool, but Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be much chillier. What we're watching for today is maybe a few spotty showers possible this afternoon, but otherwise, pretty nice day, quiet day. Highs of about 65 here in Fargo-Moorhead. But like I said, tonight into tomorrow, we're going to get probably a little frosty, so be aware of that. A chilly couple of days ahead as we wrap up September. Thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live. Remember, you can watch this anytime you want, live with me right now on Facebook, but you can watch and listen to this live stream later through the InForum YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast platform as well. It's really a great way to get all of the news, weather, everything you need to start your day. Just visit inforum.com/podcasts and look for the InForum Minute. Lots to talk about today in addition to that frost. We had breaking news out of Grand Forks. I feel like we're going to hear a lot more about this as the day goes on. We'll have someone, one of the reporters in our WDAY newsroom working on this. Several people, however, were taken to the hospital after an overnight crash in Grand Forks. Happened inside city limits on Demers Avenue right around 2 this morning. Just a one-vehicle crash, but this is what we do know at this point from Grand Forks Police. There were 7 people in the car at the time. The driver lost control, hit the median, and rolled. At least 2 people were thrown out of the vehicle. We're told that 5 others had to be helped out of the vehicle. Of those 5 that had to be helped out, 4 had to be taken to the hospital. So 6 in total. 2 people who were thrown out, taken to the hospital right away. 4 others had to go to the hospital. The driver, at this point, all we know, the driver is from Grand Forks. That driver was arrested for DUI. But of course, pretty significant crash here. A lot of people involved. So stay with WDAY for updates on that breaking story. Today we're also hoping to get more information on, this is a story a lot of people have been talking about, that school bus that crashed into a river near Leonard, North Dakota. Investigators have been trying to get footage from the surveillance camera inside that bus. Run into some problems because apparently the software that they have doesn't work with the camera from inside the bus. So police are hoping, and Cass County deputies are working on this case, that they'll be able to look at that video and kind of put together the pieces as to what led to that crash. If you did see the video, it's pretty tough to look at. 2 students at least were hurt. The driver also plunged into the Maple River Friday afternoon. So we're hoping for an update today. So stay with WDAY for updates on that story. Also, this is a story that has a lot of people talking for quite some time. The woman arrested for bringing a raccoon into a Benson County bar will be in court for the first time today. 38-year-old Aaron Christensen is charged with providing false information to law enforcement, tampering with evidence, and a couple of different game and fish violations surrounding the raccoon named Rocky. You may remember she brought that raccoon into the bar in Maddock, North Dakota earlier this month. No one was bitten, but of course the North Dakota Health Department put out all sorts of warnings about the possibility of rabies. The animal was put down as precaution. They have to put the animal down to do the testing. It did come back negative for rabies, but we'll see an update tonight on WDAY as to what happens in court today. Also new this morning, we have just learned the amount of damage that was caused at an apartment fire over the weekend. This happened yesterday afternoon around 3 at 3420 42nd Street South. We're now hearing from Fargo firefighters that it cost at least $500,000 in damage, pretty significant. The fire burned through 3 balconies, went up into the attic. We do know at least 24 of the 52 units, the people who were living in 24 of those units had to find a temporary place to stay because of the significant damage in that apartment building. Another story we've been following for you here on WDAY as well. Nearly $10,000 was raised over the weekend to help pay for the funeral of a teenager who was killed at a street dance about a week ago. The owner of Bucket's Bar and Lounge in New Rockford tells WDAY that all of the money raised this weekend, which was nearly $10,000, will go to the family of 18-year-old Kaylor Ellingson. Ellingson was killed last weekend after police say 41-year-old Shannon Brandt hit him during or right after a street dance in that area. And if you've been following this case, you may remember Brandt told police that Ellingson was part of an extremist group, but troopers are telling us now that through their investigation they have found no evidence to back up that claim. They are still actively investigating this crash. We do know Brandt has posted bail. Ellingson's funeral is actually at 1 this afternoon. It's going to be happening at Trinity Lutheran Church in Carrington, North Dakota. A lot of buzz about this story as well. This November, North Dakotans will be voting on whether or not there should be term limits for North Dakota representatives. Right now, leaders in North Dakota are letting voters know kind of where they stand, which is interesting. We do know Governor Doug Burgum has expressed full support for term limits, saying voters should give it full consideration, but not all lawmakers are thinking this is a good idea. If you'd like to read a little bit more, find out how your lawmakers feel about this, just go to InForum.com, click on this story, and you'll get a lot more of the full thoughts from several different lawmakers. Some of our national headlines. This is a big one. While a lot of people were sleeping overnight, we've been tracking Ian. Ian was a tropical storm when you went to sleep, but now a hurricane. So Hurricane Ian, of course, has everyone on alert in Florida. We've been tracking as well the path, but at this point it does look like Ian will be hitting Florida here in the next couple of days. So people there are filling up sandbags, buying plywood to board up their houses. The storm is expected to strengthen, of course. The path is still somewhat unknown, but of course, I'm just saying that because I don't have all of that great technology that our storm tracker team does, and they are working to kind of track that and follow it, even though we're so far away from Florida. Of course, everyone, I feel like, knows someone who is down there, a friend or family member, so we'll keep you updated on Ian. And if you're wondering, well, what happened to Fiona? Fiona made landfall in Canada over the weekend, still causing some problems. Hundreds of thousands of people are waking up without power there, so really getting into the heart of hurricane season right now. Okay. We're not thinking hurricane season, we're thinking cooler weather. Temperatures are starting to, dip. Like I mentioned, we're gonna have a couple of frosty mornings. With cooler fall temperatures hitting many parts of the country, a lot of Americans are beginning to brace for higher home heating bills. We have some numbers to share with you this morning. Families are expected to pay an average of 17% more for home heat this coming season. That's compared to last winter anyway. Those who heat with natural gas are facing the highest increase, more than 34% this season. Heating oil expected to increase nearly 13%. That's an average of $2,100 more this winter. Electric heat is expected to see about a 7% increase. All right, I just talked to Dom before I came in here and went online or with you this morning, and lots to talk about. I assumed he was going to want to talk about the Bison game from over the weekend, and he said Jeff Kolpack's going to be in to break down NDSU's road win over the University of South Dakota, and also, of course, look ahead because it's homecoming week for both NDSU and UND. NDSU is going to be taking on Youngstown State, so they'll be talking about that. Plus, they're also going to recap the Vikings' comeback win over the Lions. So lots to talk about. Of course, that's happening this morning on Hot Mic. You can catch that on the Extra and also InForum.com. And while you're at InForum.com, a must-read this morning. This one from Robin Hubner. Construction buzzing across the NDSU campus hits record dollar amount for simultaneous projects. Even if you don't live in town, it's a very interesting read. I've been up near the NDSU campus. You know a lot is going on. So she's going to kind of break down everything that's under construction right now, when it will be wrapped up, and how excited university leaders are about all of the changes and improvements happening there. So check that out at inforum.com. And remember, a lot of the stories that I talked about, we're going to be continuing to follow and update for you throughout the morning. So be sure to join us. We have that brand new 11 a.m. newscast, 1 hour long. We'll have updates at 11, of course, as well at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And remember, you can always get all of these headlines at inforum.com. And right now you can get unlimited access to inforum.com for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months. So check that out. Just go to inforum.com/subscribe to get that deal. Thank you for joining me for this Facebook Live. Have a great day, everyone. And be sure to tune in with us every weekday morning for First News.